Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Let me make sure my volume is up. What is it at? Okay, that's good, but let's do more. Okay, this is what I know now, and we're gonna do Olympia Dukakis. Okay, hold on. One second, y'all. I want to switch. Okay. Okay, so this is Olympia Dukakis, and she is an actress. I used to always hear Dukakis, and I thought it was a politician, but she's an actress. Okay, so it is. We're gonna go over her letter to herself. So first, we get a little bit of background, a little bit of biography, and then we'll go into the letter that she wrote to her younger self. Okay. Okay, let's go. Learn how to celebrate. Olympia Dukakis oozes integrity, not a quality that often comes to mind when describing an actress. The shade, right? Her strength of character stems from an early, long lasting resistance to the designations pinned on her. As a daughter of Greek immigrant parents, she was expected to be obedient and submissive. Headstrong and willful, she rebelled against the good Greek daughter label, causing years of conflict with her mother. She grew up on the streets of a tough neighborhood in Lowell, Massachusetts. There she fought against ethnic slurs in regular clashes with Irish, French, Syrian, and Armenian kids. Who knew? At age 11, she carried a knife. Now let me understand this. Coming from my background. Now I was bullied in school, okay? But there were no other races besides black. And the darker skinned black kids would bully me. And then this was set by the teachers. The teachers would make a difference between the kids. And the teachers always favored the lighter skinned black children over the darker skinned black children. And then the other thing was vocation. Whatever it was that your parent did, like say your dad was a janitor and you were light skinned, they would treat you badly. If your mother was dark skinned but a nurse and you were dark skinned, they treated you better. So you see, it's a two-pronged thing. Number one, you got preferential treatment if you were light skinned. Number two, you were treated special if your parents had a vocation that the teacher approved of. So what if you were light skinned, but your parents were janitorial staff? It didn't happen. Everybody who was light skinned when I was growing up, their parents were either nurses, attorneys, insurance agents. They worked in the bank. Nobody that I knew who were light skinned worked in service. But the dark skinned parents tended to be housekeepers, janitors, truck drivers, the garbage man, and the teachers treated those children very badly. So I'm listening to this, and she's saying there she fought against ethnic slurs as a Greek. As a Greek. Okay. And there were regular clashes between the Irish, French, Syrian, and Armenian kids. And she was Greek. And she carried a knife to school. I ain't gonna say nothing. Figure it out for yourself. What does it say to you? Because it's saying something to me. Okay? Okay. At age 11, she carried a knife. I went to an all-black school. I never carried a knife. Not at 11, not at 16, not at 19. Never. Never. And I was bullied by the darker skinned kids, but when I stood up for myself, they left me alone. They left me alone. Okay? Her objective, she writes in, ask me again tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you something else. The reason why I left California is because Joseph was blackballed from the school district. And the reason why he was blackballed from the school district is he brought a knife to school. Because he went to school with the Mexican kids. Now, he never said to me that he was being bullied or anything like that. But there was something in him that had told him to take a knife to school. And I believe it was Jonathan. I think that he said to Jonathan, his older brother, that he feels weird going to school with Mexicans because that was something new that he had never did before. And his older brother told him to bring a knife to school. He brought a knife to school and he was blackballed. He was kicked out of the district. And so I quit my job and left California and drove to Seattle to take another job so that Joseph could go to school. And that pulled Jonathan out of his school. But it was his desire to get Joseph in trouble that caused him to have to leave his school, his job, all of that. Because he told his little brother to bring a knife to school. Because he wanted Joseph to get in trouble. And Joseph did. And it caused problems for me, which was great from Jonathan's point of view. Because that's what he was trying to do. Because he was upset because I used the child support money to pay bills. I didn't buy him Jordan shoes and stuff like that. And when he went and got a job of his own volition, they went on strike. So he was getting the strike amount of money. But Jonathan caused a lot of mess in the family. And I'm sure that wherever he is now, he's causing mess. He's a mater. Is what they do. So anyway, back to Olympia Dukakis. So that was my little aside knife situation. Fast forward to 2013, Joseph was killed by a boy who pulled a knife and stabbed him. And he was extremely high when it happened. Again, he didn't get that type of, I sent him off to Job Corps. He listened to Kaylee and Jonathan, who brought him back to Seattle, stole from him. Kaylee had her police officer friends beat him almost to death and throw him into jail. Moving on. He's been dead for 7 years now, honey. So, okay. Her objective, she writes in Ask Me Again Tomorrow, a life in progress, was to define myself, not fall into the role others wanted to define for me. I'd done it from as early as I can remember, first with my parents, then as a schoolgirl, later as an actress and wife and mother. The quest, which she says is ongoing at age 72, scrapes away her comfort zone. I know who I am, Olympia intoned as Rose Castorini, the resolute Italian matriarch in Moonstruck, for which she received an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, the New York Film Critics Award, the Los Angeles Film Critics Award, and the Golden Globe Award. But she reports that she doesn't feel such certainty. Another line from Martin Sherman's one-woman show Rose resonates more deeply. Maybe there's a joy in not belonging. I find that I enjoy it. I find that I truly enjoy it, honey. Okay. Now, I belong in my group, but I'm glad that I don't belong everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I enjoy the many, many, many things, but I'm happy that I don't belong. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay, so let's move on. Speaking with me by phone, Olympia, with a throaty laugh, confesses that her 7th decade hasn't brought the serenity so many people imagine will grace their later years. I used to have the feeling that as I got older, life would be more peaceful. That's what many older people say. I'm not one of those people. That's too bad. I look back and there are many things I regret, she admits. She discusses some of them in her letter written to herself in her late 40s after her husband, Louis Zorich, experienced a brutal car crash in 1977. The accident fractured and dislocated his hip and shattered his knee. He endured 3 months of hospitalization, followed by years of painful physical therapy and hip and knee replacement surgeries. The night that Louis came home, after he was installed in a hospital bed in the first floor dining room of their Georgian Colonial in Montclair, New Jersey, Olympia wept at the kitchen table. The doctor said he would walk only with canes or crutches. They had 3 children, Christina, Peter, and Stefan, under the age of 13. With Louis, whom she sometimes called Lullabelle, unable to walk, Olympia became the family's breadwinner, running the whole theater. Her consuming but poor-paying passion would have to be squeezed in at the margins while pursuing more lucrative work. In those years, I never stopped, she remembers. So this is her letter to herself. Dear Ollie, a fine mess you've gotten yourself into this time. You woke up worried about money almost every day. Your kitchen functions like a war room. Charts and timetables cover the walls so that you can plot your ever-changing schedule at the theater and in Manhattan, where you chase paying jobs against the kids' after-school activities. When you spot a precious square inch of blank space, your free time, you dedicate it to watching one of the kids' games. The school has been sending letters to you stressing the importance of your support. What with your charts, the kids' bikes, and your brother and sister-in-law's aid, everybody seems to be landing where they're supposed to, more or less on time. You're not really dealing with feelings, though, yours or the kids'. You're so taken up with just surviving that you're ignoring the most important issue. The kids have effectively lost their father. Louis is fully absorbed with putting his body back together. You need to talk to Christina, Peter, and Stefan about that and what it means to all of you. And you should understand that, in a way, the kids are losing you too. You're too busy. You're so busy that you're absent. It's not an overstatement to say that they feel like their family is crumbling. Unless you change what you're doing, the kids will have to confront these issues later in life, and you'll wake up in the middle of the night and wonder why you didn't do some of these things differently. I guess this is where her regrets come from. Okay. I hesitate to say all this because you labor so relentlessly and you're trying so hard. Bless her heart. But you need to learn how to celebrate, not just to suffer. Amen to that. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? How in the midst of all this turmoil can you possibly find a way to feel good about what's happening? One way is to realize that being strong doesn't require that you deny yourself pleasures. You don't have to earn them by toiling harder than every other workforce. You're unnaturally good at deferring gratification. Olympia. Learn that you can be responsible for your children and enjoy them at the same time. Talk to them about what's happening and, even more important, listen to what they say. What could also ease your stress is a different way of thinking about how we travel through this world. There is no ladder to success. The rhythm of life runs in cycles. There are times in the darkness and times in the light. The energy of life is like the rainforest in Borneo. Things live, grow, die, fall to the forest floor, rot, and then they are born again. Remember what Mother says? Everyone gets kicked down the stairs. This is one of those times. A Greek mother said, everybody gets kicked down the stairs. You must embrace these changes. As difficult as they will pass. But you mustn't bury or deny the darkness. You gotta live through it. You can't cheat. No drugs, no booze. Don't cheat. Live it. Experience it. Experience it. I wanna highlight that or mark it some kind of way. I like that. Okay. You must embrace these changes. As difficult as they will pass. But you mustn't bury or deny the darkness. Okay? You gotta live through it. You can't cheat. Even now, you have a lot to look forward to. Birthdays, for example. You and Louis have rarely made merry on these days. Sometimes you've forgotten them altogether, but that will change. You'll understand that purposefully capturing happy moments expands your soul. On your 40th wedding anniversary, you'll have an enormous party at your New York City loft with 50 people raising their glasses to you. In time, you'll start to rent a giant house at a different beach every summer and invite the whole family to come. It won't be a happily ever after story. The cycles of darkness and light continue. But have patience. Your most important struggles will be hard fought, but won well. Endure and have faith. Olympia. I just think that's beautiful. So that is in What I Know Now, page 39 through 42. Olympia Dukakis.